Hello and congrats, we're back to some more Buffalo Sabres franchise mode in FHM 12. And in this one, we have the offseason of year number 8 heading into year number 9. And what I've done right off the bat, I've offered Riker Evans a contract extension. He is in free agency right now. He did have that bug where his contract extension had $0 on it. So I had to release him to free agency and offer him a proper contract, which was, I believe, $4 million for 2 years. And he's 31 years of age, so that takes him to 33, which works out. So here's the thing. We have a lot of players making a lot of money. We're currently at 88.7 million with our current roster as it is. So once we add Evans, that'll be at, roughly 92.7. And when you take a look at who we have coming up, we have Stenberg and Aram Olsen in particular, who I am worried about what they're going to want. Stenberg wants 5.2 for 3 years, and Aram Olsen, I would be shocked if it's anything less than 6 million. 5.5, really. I mean, that's a steal for him, considering the fact that he has had 2 consecutive point per game seasons. So I think we should offer that right away, honestly, before he takes that up. So I will give him, I'll start at 4.75. And I managed to get him down to 5.15. That's an amazing contract for Aram Olsen. So I'm definitely doing that for him for 3 years. And then for Stenberg, I mean, he's been a consistent 40-point guy for the past 3 years, and he had 34 points the year before on his rookie season. So at least he's a consistent enough simulator to, warrant a contract, and he's good, certainly. But my concern is is whether or not we're going to have the cap space available to re-sign him. So what needs to happen here? Because we're going to be having a lot of players making, 5 mil plus. Something needs to happen. I'm not sure what yet, but this core is not going to be staying together for too much longer, I don't think. But I think besides re-signing Evans, we can just go right ahead to the draft, because there's really nobody who I would want to sign for agency anyway. Because despite the fact that we lost Tage Thompson, obviously due to the fact that he wanted way too much money, there's no way we're going to be able to afford him, as you could tell by the cap situation being the way it is right now. And then Ufco as well. So those were the 2 major departures this offseason. But even so, I think we will still be a very competitive team in the upcoming season. And just given the way our roster is right now, I don't think we really need much other than to get Evans back, right? I mean, honestly, I think what this team really needs is, more players on entry-level contracts, because that's certainly going to be valuable going forward. And thankfully, we do have quite a few of them. We have Engeland, you have Skarepa, you have Holmberg, you have Bartos, you have Onifrievich. So those kinds of players are going to be valuable for us, especially in the next couple of years, right? And obviously, after that, it's the end of year 10. We're basically done with the franchise mode at that point anyway. But still, I would like to be able to help this team have a smooth transition into the next generation, right? Like without going into full blown rebuild mode, right? So I think what we're going to do, we're just going to advance to the draft lottery on July 5th. All right, here we go. Time for the draft lottery. At number 16, you have Vancouver, followed by Nashville, Edmonton, Vegas, St. Louis, Winnipeg. So Toronto moves up. You have Philly at number 10, Columbus, Detroit, Boston again, Utah. So the Islanders move up. Edmonton at number 4, Tampa at number 3, and at number 1, the Toronto Maple Leafs, followed by the New York Islanders at number 2. All right, here we go. Time for the draft. We are picking at number 30, it looks like. And unfortunately, it looks like this is going to be a pretty underwhelming draft for the most part. There's 1 4-star potential, and then everybody after that is 3-star or below. So I think we'll just advance here. No one really worth trading up for, I don't think. And for our pick at number 30, there are just 2.5-star potentials left. Okay, so I think the best player available here, honestly, is a guy with a pretty interesting name, Jacob Stalker. So hopefully he does not do the act of what his name would suggest, but he has a 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential on the team scouting. He has 16 passing rating. He's a pretty good offensive player already. Defensive category is passable, I guess, for this point. He's already a 1-star ability, so that's already coming along quite nicely. His face-offs are at 14, positioning's at 14, stick checking's at 14. Everything else really is at 12 other than shot blocking. Physical ratings are, I would say, pretty good for this point. Some 15s and 14s in there. Strength's a little bit low at 11, but that can be improved, obviously. And then determinations at 17, temperaments at 21. So bypassing the 20 limit, and just looks very well rounded. Then we take a look at his strengths and weaknesses. The strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. He's an above average skater. He's in pretty good physical shape. He's pretty good on ice vision. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, and he'll get injured a little bit more often than you'd like. And then personality wise, he never takes success for granted. He plays a very clean game and has scores very high on IQ tests. And then I'll look at his career stats. Last year in the NTDP program, he had 78 points in 62 games played, 72 grade. Jacob Stalker is going to have to be the pick here. Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres, Jacob Stalker. All right, now we're at number 62. There is still 2.5 star potential left with the goaltender Jake Kurchin. Yeah, sure. I mean, it never hurts to have another goaltender prospect, I suppose. So Jake Kurchin, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. Okay, I think I found a pretty interesting player for our next pick. You have Philip Bocek, who's a left winger, half-star ability, 2-star potential. So nothing special there as far as the potential goes. But he's got some pretty decent offensive ratings already. Screening is at 16, getting opens at 14, shooting accuracy is at 16. Defensive category is not quite where I'd like it to be. Physical ratings are also a little low for my liking. Mental ratings are good, but overall for this point in the draft, it seems like he would be a decent pick. Strengths and weaknesses. His strongest part of his game is his physical play. He's very strong, ready to learn. I like that. Skating is pretty good. Decent on-ice vision. The weakest part of his game is his defensive play, and he's a frequent visitor to the disabled list. And personality-wise, he performs better under pressure, a little too concerned with how much money he makes, and temper will get him into trouble frequently. So I guess that's, the 3 temperaments not ideal there. But regardless, he still seems like a pretty interesting prospect. So I believe we will be taking him here with this pick. Philip Bocek, welcome to the Buffalo Sabres. I think one more player who I'm sort of interested in here is Maximilian Siekman, the center who's a half-star ability, 2-star potential. He's got that 18 passing, 14 getting open and puck handling. He's got 14 faceoffs, 15 positioning, 17 speed, 17 determinations. So I like what I see out of him so far. And then strengths and weaknesses. The strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. His skating ability is a positive. The weakest part of his game is his physical play. He's not very strong, and he'll log a fair amount of time lost to injuries. Personality-wise, everybody loves him. He's regarded as a pretty clean player, and he rarely reacts well when things don't go his way. Actually, I mean, yeah, that's not great. That part is not great. Rarely reacts well when things don't go his way. I mean, that's, as a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to let the computer finish the draft because besides him, who I really don't like that personality trait, I think there's not really much left for us here. So we're going to auto-complete the rest of the draft. All right, nice. We got Riker Evans back on the team, so he is signed for another 2 years at $4 million, and that should take us to roughly $93 million. Yep, $92.7 million, and we have 24 players in the roster, so we're gonna have to send, I would imagine, a forward down because we should have 7 defensemen. Yep, that is 7. So, I mean, I guess I'll make the decision on who to send down forward-wise before the regular season starts, but this is our roster moving into year number 9. So I think with that being said, we will advance to the Hall of Fame inductions on August 1st. And inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Sidney Crosby, Patrick Kane, Mark Giordano, and former Buffalo Sabre Ryan Miller. All right, and with the departure of Tage Thompson, we do have to set a second alternate captain here. And I think that may as well just be McKenna because he was going to be my second choice when I gave Benson the alternate. So yeah, Gavin McKenna will be our second alternate captain. The owner, Willie Thomas, has made a request, bring back a former player. I mean, what if he's probably talking about Thompson, which, speaking of which, we should probably check on where he went. It looks like he is now a member of the New Jersey Devils. Okay, and he was signed for 1 year for $7.38 million. So Tage Thompson has officially moved on, and we'll see what he does in New Jersey. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring him back at that price, especially. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, it's been a while since we've checked on the player for our channel member, Mr. Zeke Burns. He is now 25 years of age, playing for the Vegas Golden Knights at a 4-star ability, 4.5-star potential. Very good offensive player, it looks like. Let's check out his career so far. It looks like he initially started with the Islanders. spent a few years in the AHL, had a pretty good rookie season, 51 points in 56 games played, and then was pretty consistent about that until he got traded to the Vegas Golden Knights last season, where he had a total of 54 points in 83 games played between the Islanders and the Golden Knights. So pretty solid career for Zeke Burns so far, and I guess we will check on him again at the end of the franchise mode, but just thought I would check on him while I was thinking of it. But with that being said, let's advance to the start of the regular season. All right, so we are at the start of the regular season, and here's our roster heading into year number 9. You have Levi and Ratzlaff in net. On defense, you have Dahlin, Ellefson, Faber, Evans, Morrow, Romanov, and Englund. And at forward, you have McKenna, Ostlund, Eklund Asp, Stenberg, Aram Olsen, Benson, Pedersen, Misik, Hellenius, Nuchev, Griva, Skarepa, Holmberg, and Bartos. Okay, so cutting in here with my VTuber model for the first time in a while. And basically, this episode was supposed to end right here, but it was only 10 minutes long. And I figured since the next episode, or what was supposed to be the next episode anyway, was also going to be pretty short, I figured I would just combine the two together. And I'm just having this as a little transition so that, it's not awkward just seeing and hearing a second intro halfway through the video. So with that, let's get to the second part of this episode. Hello, Rinkrats. We're back some more Buffalo Sabres franchise mode in FHM 12. And in this one, we have the start of the year 9 simulation. But before we get to that, there is a move I want to make. That's right. So I talked last time about how I want to get some more contracts that are, $1 million or less. So entry-level contracts on the team. And when you take a look at our defensive core, we have a couple of those. We have Ellefson, his is not an entry-level contract anymore, but he's still cheap at $1.5 million for the next 2 years. Anglund's on his entry-level deal for 1 more year. But then you also have a lot of veterans here, like Morrow, 30 years of age, Faber, 31, Evans, 31, Romanov, and Dahlin, 33. So our defensive core is getting on the older side. And what I would like to do is get somebody who's going to help lower that average age a little bit. So we will be making a trade with the Montreal Canadiens, who are currently rebuilding according to their outlook. So you might be wondering, well, why would they want to be trading a young defenseman? Well, here's the thing. For the player we're getting back, I am willing to overextend here quite a bit. So going the other way to Montreal will be, first up, Adrian Rudiman. He's a 22-year-old defenseman, 1.5-star ability, 3.5-star potential. Then also going the other way will be the rights to Marcel Simbolnik. He's a 21-year-old right winger, 1.5-star ability, 2.5-star potential. Pretty decent forward prospect. So we're going to be sending him the other way, along with a top 10 protected first-round pick, a second, and then a 7th just for just a little sweetener. And coming back the other way will be Morgan Burgart. He is a 2.5-star ability defenseman. So you might be wondering, why am I overextending for a 2.5-star? Well, here's the thing. He's got a 19 two-way defenseman role. Right? 19 two-way defenseman as a 2.5-star ability. And you take a look at some of his ratings: 19 offensive read, 17 puck handling, 17 passing, 15 getting open. Defensive ratings aren't so great. He's got some defensive ratings that are, checkings at 13, hittings at 11, but then positioning's pretty good at 15. Stick checking is good at 17, and then defensive reads at 14 is serviceable. And then physical ratings some of them are really good. You got acceleration at 17, agility at 15, balance at 20, speed is at 18, and then the only downside I would say to his physical categories is strength at 11, and then his mental category, it's not the worst, but it's serviceable, I would say. And then you take a look at his scouting page. The strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. His skating ability is a big plus. Won't miss a lot of games due to injury, so he's pretty sturdy there. Coaches appreciate the dedication to his training. He's in pretty good physical shape and doesn't wear down quickly. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, but none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. And then personality-wise, he's respected throughout the league for his sportsmanship, noted for his intelligence, and everyone seems to love him, so he's not going to be causing any locker room problems. And then you take a look at the overall abilities section. What stands out to me the most here is that your scouts believe he may have significant upside potential that other scouts have missed, although it's far from certain that he will ever reach it. But still, just considering everything that we know about Morgan Burgart, I think he is a hidden gem. I really do. He only has 2 games of NHL experience, so I may be way off the mark here. But I truly believe that Morgan Burgart is going to be a hidden gem. So that's why I think he is worth overpaying, especially for only that $1 million for the next 2 years. That's going to be very valuable for us moving forward. So I definitely want to acquire Morgan Burgart here. So the package will be Rudiman, the rights to Simbolnik, a first, a second, and seventh round pick for this year's draft, the first being top 10 protected, in exchange for Morgan Burgart, offer trade. So we'll see what they say. And that is certainly, I think, probably the most I've ever extended in quite some time. But I really do believe that Burgart is going to be a hidden gem. And I think he may even surpass his potential, honestly, with what we saw with his 19 offensive read and just his overall ability. His speed, I think, was at 18 as well. So I really like Morgan Burgart, and I think he's going to be a key piece moving forward. So hopefully they say yes. So let's advance the simulation and see what the Montreal Canadiens say. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, I do want to extend Stenberg because I have a feeling he's going to increase his price as the year goes on. So I may as well just do this now. Let's start at 4.5 for 3 years. And I managed to get him down to 4.84 for 3 years. That's a good deal for him. There you go. The Montreal Canadiens have accepted our offer of Adrian Rudiman, a first, a second, and a seventh, and the rights to Marcel Simbolnik in exchange for Morgan Burgart. Complete trade. There it is. Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres, Morgan Burgart. As we'll take one more look at him. I'm expecting, honestly, that he's going to be a great simulator. I mean, I know as we take a look at his 2 NHL games played so far with Montreal, he had a 54 grade in those 2 games, but I really believe that he's going to be a stud of the future for this team, regardless of his potential only being 3-star. And honestly, I think, once again, I think he has the ability to push past that. I really think he's going to be a great player. So we'll see what he does with your Buffalo Sabres. That means we now have 8 defensemen, and I think I'm going to send down one of our wingers in Linus Holmberg. So we'll run 8 defensemen for right now, because his defensive ratings, as someone he's a 2-star ability, so he's going to be on the 4th line more than likely if he gets in there at all, and his checking's only at 11, hitting's only at 10, positioning's only at 12. So he's got some work to do to develop before I would really trust him in that kind of role. I mean, he would be okay as like a top 6 injury replacement, because he's got that 18 puck handling, 17 getting open, right? He's got some good ratings for the top 6, but I don't know if I would trust him in a regular role in the bottom 6. So we're going to send down Holmberg to the AHL. And like I said, we'll roll 8 defensemen for the time being. So with that done, let's go over our roster one more time. In goal, you have Levi and Ratzlaff. On defense, you have Dahlin, Ellefson, Faber, Evans, Morrow, Romanov, Burgarts, and Englund. And at forward, you have McKenna, Ostlund, Eklund, Asp, Stenberg, Aram Olsen, Benson, Pedersen, Misik, Helenius, Nuchev, Griva, Skarepa, and Bartos. And so with that, let's get underway with the year 9 simulation. Oh boy, first major injury of the year, and it's a big one. Rasmus Dahlin out 1 to 2 months. That's unfortunate. Oh dear, defensive core going down one by one. Englund down 1 to 2 months. Well, I guess it's a good thing we were carrying 8 defensemen, because now we're going to need all 6 here, and might have to call somebody up here. I guess it's going to be, nope, not Forsberg. He's injured, so hopefully nobody else gets injured, because that would be a problem. Oh, 2 major injuries at once. Englund injured again, 2 to 3 weeks, and then Ostlund indefinite. Oh, he's done for the season. Yep, that's probably includes playoffs as well. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. He was having a pretty good season too. Yeah, 40 points in 44 games played. All right, so we're on February 1st. We are 38, 22, and 2. Good enough for first in the division, though just barely. The Detroit Red Wings are right behind us, as well as Montreal. So we are in a good spot, but we can't get comfortable here. If we take a look at the league standings, we're 6th in the league. So let's have a look at the player stats. You have Aram Olsen leading the way once again with 58 points in 62 games played. Misik with 49, Eklund Asp with 44, Benson with 42, McKenna with 40, Ostlund with 40, Stenberg with 38, Helenius with 37, Morrow and Pedersen with 33, Faber with 32, Griva with 31, Evans with 30, Burgart with 27 so far. He was a good pickup. Nuchev with 26. Skarepa with 25. Dahlin with 22. Ellefson with 22 as well. Bartos with 14. Romanov with 13, Englund with 7, and Holmberg with nothing in 2 games played. And then a goal in 49 games played for Levi. He has 4 shutouts and a .905 save percentage. That's at least decent. And then Ratzlaff in 15 games played has 1 shutout and an .879 save percentage. So I think we're probably going to end up sending him you know what? Yeah, I'm going to send him down, and we will call up Robble just to see what he's about, see what he does for us. And there's not really much, honestly, that I want to do going to this trade deadline, because I think for the most part, we are still a very solid team. We've been on a little bit of a slide as of late, but I don't think there's anything to really be too concerned about. We'll take a look at the team stats. And I know it's been a while since we've checked the team stats to begin with. Goals for per game, we're 4th in the league with 3.71. Goals against per game, we are 4th in the league with a 2.73. Face-offs, we are 12th in the league with a 50.6. Power play, we're 9th in the league with a 17.4. And penalty kill, we are 27th in the league with an 84.1. So that's a bit concerning. But overall, I think we're still in a position to be able to compete for the Stanley Cup this year. And I mean, as long as we don't get any more major injuries, we should be fine, right? So with that being said, we'll advance straight to the end of the regular season. Oh dear, Pettersson out 1 to 2 months. All right, we're at the end of the regular season now. We have finished 52, 28, and 4. Good enough for 1st in the Atlantic Division and 4th in the league. So not a bad season at all for your Buffalo Sabres. Of course, it doesn't compare to the regular season we had last year, where we had 64 wins, but still a very good season. So let's take a look at the player stats here. You have Aram Olsen leading the way once again with 78 points on the season. Then you have Misek with 72. He had a breakout year. I believe that is a career high for him. Yes, indeed. You have McKenna with 64, Benson with 63, Eklinas with 60, Hellenius with 54, Stenberg with 51, Faber with 47, Scareppa with 42. Then you have Evans with 41, Ostlund and Morrow with 40. Obviously, Ostlund still injured indefinitely, so he is just done. He may even be, I mean, I hope he's ready for next season. He should be, but I mean, that's a fractured skull. He's going to be done for a while. Yeah, there's no way he's coming back anytime in these playoffs. Then you have Grivo with 37, Burgart with 37 as well. He, like I said, he was a great pickup. He made it to a 3-star talent, a 3.5-star potential. So he pushed his potential up. That's exactly what I thought he was going to do, and he did. So once again, I'm glad. I'm very happy with that trade. And Ellefson with 36, Dahlin with 35 and 69 games played. He's healthy and ready to go for these playoffs. Pettersson with 34, Nuchev with 31. So just a lot of depth scoring on this team. And then you have Bartos with 22, Anglin with 16 and 25 games played. He didn't play a whole lot, but when he did play, he was good. Then you have Romanov in 26 games played with 13 points, Onofrievich with 7, and Holmberg with 6. And then in goal, you have Levi in 69 games played with 6 shutouts and a .904 save percentage. So a decent end to the season. He could have done better for sure, but it wasn't terrible at the very least. And then Ratzlav in 15 games played had an .879, and Robble in 3 games played had an .883. So we got to rely on Levi once again in net, and hopefully he can get it done in the playoffs. And now we will see who we are facing in the first round. And it looks like it will be the 45, 36, and 3 New York Islanders. So I think with that being done, we'll end things off here, but not before I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.